It's a scam. This will not stand!
Fast food restaurants are more known for things like convenience and value menus than they are for the quality of their food. This is not an accident, because in the competitive fast food game, making money is about the little things, like charging for extras and upselling the bigger size. Time to find out 10 sneaky ways fast food restaurants scam us.
That sounds like a scam.
Less is more.
Give me one more.
Okay.
In the competitive world of fast food chains, every little thing counts and can be the difference between turning a profit or going out of business. The more successful restaurant chains have discovered that offering customers a relatively limited choice of menu items is cost-effective. In-N-Out Burger has mastered this model, offering its loyal customers burgers, French fries, and a variety of soft drinks.
They're just giving them away behind the In-N-Out.
Within this limited menu, there are a few variations, such as cheeseburgers and milkshakes. Although In-N-Out is a great example, most of the fast food chains use this system to varying degrees. For example, potatoes are cheap, so it makes sense to offer their customers only French fries, instead of a selection of side dishes that are more expensive to mass produce. The lower the restaurants can keep their costs, the greater their potential profit margin can be. If a chain like McDonald's were to offer pizza, McDonald's tried this briefly and failed, and Mexican food like burritos and enchiladas, it would be a mistake. It would greatly increase the restaurant's costs of producing menu items, and these increased costs would eventually be passed on to customers.
Please don't do that.
Supersizing profits.
Okay, you can supersize, but no apple pie.
Do you need that extra giant soda that would satisfy a team of thirsty kids? No, but for a few cents more, it can easily be yours, so why not get it? This pop psychology is the basic idea behind the efforts of fast food chains to upsell you more food than you need for more money than you were intending to spend. The fast food companies even conducted a study that showed that the overwhelming number of people who are asked if they want fries with that answer yes.
Have you learned how to say, do you want fries with that?
This is why the employees are trained to ask you this, and also to ask you if you would rather have the larger size for just a few cents more. You're already spending X amount of money, so why not a bit more? These few cents are actually a lot to the food chains. Think of all the transactions that go on at these restaurants every single day. If they can get each customer to spend just a few cents more to get the bigger size, then this adds up to a lot of money. This concept also applies to combos too. You might have showed up intending to just get a sandwich, but for a little more money, you ended up driving away with a meal deal with fries and a drink. And the company ended up with more money in its pocket.
Well done. You're too clever for me.
Clip and save?
I don't have any money, just coupons.
Many of us have grown up believing that using coupons to purchase items is a smart idea because these little slips of paper save us money. But is this really true? The answer is a little more complicated than you'd think. There is no shortage of fast food coupons available for you to use. They are in magazines, advertisements you get in the mail, and on the internet. They are so prevalent, it almost has to make you ask, what gives with all the coupons? It turns out the fast food chains consider the coupons to be like a form of bait.
Miss making coupons work.
This bait will get you in the door, and maybe you will just get what the coupon allows for, but it is very likely you will end up spending more than you intended when you clipped the coupon. The coupons are not about saving you money, but simply getting you to spend money you were not necessarily intending to spend on fast food. Even the coveted free item coupons are really a ploy to get you to spend more money. So the fast food chains will continue to offer us coupons as long as the coupons help them make more money.
What are you looking for, Alf?
Rebate coupons.
The Invaluable Menu.
What's on the menu today, good sir?
Most of the value menus you see being pushed by the fast food companies play a similar role that the coupons play. They are more of a marketing ploy than a moneymaker for the food chains. For example, dollar menu items don't usually make money for them, but they are hoping that customers will be lured by the cheap items featured on the value menu, but end up ordering more expensive items. These fast food chains can't survive if you just get a hamburger off the value menu. They really need you to get inspired to order a full meal with a drink and French fries and get talked into buying the bigger size while you're at it.
But I don't have any money.
Many of the fast food chains have said they would like to get rid of their value menus, but are concerned that they would have more trouble luring customers in to spend any money. They see these menus as a necessary evil, or a cost of doing business in the highly competitive fast food market. As for the customers, if they do stick to the items on the value menu, they can get a decent amount of food for a pretty cheap price. However, the companies continue to work hard to get these customers to spend more than they intended.
It's huge. You're trying to trick me. Get out.
Easy does it.
Why don't you go relax? I'll bring us some takeout.
One of the major reasons fast food chains have thrived over the years is that they are convenient. Think about when you go on a road trip. How far can you ever get from a McDonald's or some other major fast food chain? Being there whenever you want them is a major strength, and they have been smart in exploiting this fact over the years. These giant corporations would all like to believe that customers love the food so much that they will go out of their way for a hamburger or a shake, and sometimes we do, but they have faced the fact that being user-friendly or being available on demand is a big part of their business model. You might say that these companies have decided to make a necessity into a virtue. This convenience has paid off because more than 9 million Americans find their way to a fast food restaurant every day.
That's so many people.
And many of these people visit fast food restaurants more than once a week. It might stand to reason that they don't actually love the mass-produced food as much as the companies would like to believe. What they do love is how easy and quick it is to use the drive-thru to get a quick and hopefully inexpensive meal. The other factor to keep in mind is that most people don't like to cook all the time, and fast food restaurants are an easy option to choose when you'll likely pass several of them on the way home from work.
How convenient.
The business of fast food.
Let's talk business.
There is a well-known statistic that is often repeated about restaurants. According to the numbers, more than half of new restaurants go out of business. Most of these were small-scale operations that tried to go it alone in a crowded and highly competitive industry. The saying goes, there is safety in numbers, and this really seems to be the case when it comes to fast food restaurants. The fast food franchises like McDonald's and Burger King are internationally recognized global brands, so it's a wonder that any of these so-called mom-and-pop establishments can survive.
Oh no, how can I compete with that?
These fast food chains use their resources to undercut the competition and use huge marketing budgets to secure a continuous presence in the marketplace that is difficult to ignore. These big corporations can wait out the smaller competition that can't afford to match dollar menus and other gimmicks that actually don't make any money but can expand the customer base for the big chains. They are good at business, and they have had decades to refine their techniques that get you inside their stores to spend money on a regular basis.
How did I spend that much money?
Fast food wages.
What's she gonna make? Minimum wage? At best?
Everyone knows you are not going to get rich working at a fast food restaurant. Hiring employees as inexpensively as they can is actually part of their formula for success. Mostly, these chains rely on teenagers who are entering the job market with limited skills and looking for their first job. The kids get training, experience, and a paycheck, and the companies are able to pay them less than they would be pressured to pay older, more experienced workers. In recent years, many workers have been complaining about the relatively low wages and have started demanding a higher minimum wage, sometimes as high as $20 an hour. While this sounds good to the employees, it doesn't make sense to the fast food companies, who are used to drawing from a big pool of young, low-skilled workers. The companies argue that paying employees substantially higher wages would mean fewer jobs or passing the higher labor costs on to the customers, rather than cutting the higher wages of the upper echelon within the companies.
And the rich get richer.
But as computers and artificial intelligence continue to get more sophisticated, there's the potential that many fast food jobs could soon be replaced by robots who work without pay and won't complain about it.
I think it's wrong, too, replacing men with mindless machines.
Nickel and dime.
If they got a dime, I want at least a nickel.
It's an old adage that it's the little things that count, and this certainly seems to be true when it comes to the big fast food companies. These companies do not charge for things like straws and napkins, but they do charge extra for a lot of little things like sauces and condiments, like salsa and guacamole. Many of these chains will also charge extra for things like cheese, as well as for certain substitutions. Condiments are generally very cheap for these companies to produce, and the fast food chains often charge more than $1 for each of them.
Let's stop bleeding those people dry and go home.
Much like with the fast food chain's reliance on the profitability of their soft drinks, these little extras add up to a lot of profits. The fast food companies assume since you're already at the restaurant, you're okay with spending some money, and you probably won't notice if you have to spend a few more dollars to get all the little extras you want. It is strange to think that the viability of these multi-billion-dollar corporations rests with whether or not customers are willing to pay extra money for things like sauces and dips.
It's the little things, isn't it?
Soft target.
Keep the target soft, pull the trigger slow.
After burgers and french fries, fountain sodas are the items we most associate with fast food restaurants. It turns out this is probably not an accident, as these cheap and easy-to-make fountain soft drinks are big money makers for these corporations. It only costs a couple of pennies to mix up these sweet concoctions of carbonated water and flavoring, and then fast food chains can turn around and sell that very concoction for $1 or more.
Sounds like a scam.
This big discrepancy can work out to as much as a 90% profit on their soft drinks. So there is little wonder why these companies are always pushing you to get a drink with your meal. It's almost pure profit. Including a soft drink in a so-called value meal costs the chains almost nothing. The large profits they make on the soft drinks allow them to charge prices on the value menus that don't really turn a profit because they know they're going to make all the money back and more with the soda sales. However, there might be trouble on the horizon because many customers have been trying to cut out soda in an effort to be healthier, and this has put a crimp in the fast food chain's profits in recent years.
Gotta eat healthy to stay fit.
Sell me a dream.
Dream big.
These fast food companies have not become internationally successful by selling you the cheapest items on their menu. The fast food restaurants advertise the more expensive meals on their menus with colorful pictures of big, juicy burgers and crisp golden french fries.
Now you're making me hungry.
If you only have a couple of bucks in your pocket when you roll up to the drive-thru, it'll be a lot easier to stick to the value menu and be done with it. However, these are not the type of customers they have built their business on for decades. All of these fast food chains have a pile of studies that show them that if you have more to spend, they have a good chance of getting you to spend it at their restaurant.
Devious little monsters here.
Spend a little more time with us by checking out another one of our great videos. All you need to do is tap on that screen. And to join our notification squad, just hit that subscribe button and ring that bell if you're checking us out for the first time.